Okay, so the videos up until this point can be considered the core rules of space infantry. From here on, we're going to start getting into the special rules of the game, things like Hive, which is what we're going to get into now, and later on the campaign rules for the game. A lot of these different variants for space infantry have new components that get included for the game, like when we get into Hive, they have special tiles that come into play instead of the usual maps that you're used to, but these are going to operate in pretty similar fashion to the standard missions we've seen up until this point. We'll touch on the tiles a little more here in just a sec, but also on top of having these, you can see that they do say Hive, so they are going to have their own special Hive node cards that you will use when it comes to Hive missions. On top of that, there are some special counters that are included for this portion as well, like this light source, because with the Hive missions being located underground, you're going to need to have a source of light so your troops can see, and there will be some negative modifiers in certain zones if you don't have a source of light with you during that portion of the mission. Also, the Hive missions do have their own mission sheets as well that'll lay out the same basic stuff that you've seen in some of the other missions where it comes to the requirements, the objective, any special rules that might be associated with the mission itself, special nodes that will have to be used for the mission, or even variants that can be included as well. So when it comes to the tiles themselves, these are going to be what's known as a sector. So an individual tile is a sector, but the same terminology is going to apply that we've used previously. So these are still going to be your nodes, and these will still be your movement paths. But in our case, when it comes to hives, these are tunnels. Now you do need to pay attention for each one of the hive tiles, because they can have a special rule associated with them, like this one does. You can see in the upper right, it says pitch black, which will have a reduction to your AP without a light resource present with the squad, like we were discussing earlier. When it comes to the special rules for the tiles, there can be multiples that will be listed there at the top. Like I said, make sure you read them. It could be everything from pitch black to narrow passageways to unstable areas, which can each affect each one of the different sectors. Something else that is a little bit different is that the map itself can be expanded, because you see that the tunnels lead off into nothing, like you see here, all around these different tiles. Those are considered open tunnels, and in some missions, your squad will proceed through. And when they hit these areas, they can explore, and you will be laying down new tiles and kind of laying out the map as you go along.